If you're growing spiritually and suddenly you feel misunderstood, alone, like you no longer fit anywhere, let me tell you something that will completely change your perspective. Jesus went through exactly the same thing, and he left specific words for you, so you can walk through this phase without losing yourself. These words won't bring people back, but they'll give you something far more valuable: clarity, peace, and the certainty that you are on the right path. Today, I'm going to share those words with you, and you'll understand why your spiritual loneliness is not a punishment. It's a promotion. Let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever felt like you've outgrown the people around you? Like your conversations don't make sense anymore? Your interests have changed, and you see things others can't see. And worse, the people you loved began to distance themselves. They started to judge you, to call you different, too radical, or strange. I've been there, and it was one of the loneliest seasons of my life. I used to wonder, am I wrong? Am I becoming proud? Should I go back to who I used to be? Until I discovered something liberating. Jesus went through the same process, and he not only survived it, he taught us how to walk through this inevitable stage of spiritual growth. Because here's the truth no one tells you. When you truly grow spiritually, you will be alone for a while. Not because you're better than others, but because you're in transition. John 15:18 through 19 says, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belonged to the world, it would love you as its own. But as it is, you do not belong to the world. I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you." Jesus was saying this: being misunderstood is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth. The first word Jesus gave us for this season is misunderstood. Jesus didn't just allow himself to be misunderstood. He validated that experience as an essential part of spiritual maturity. Let me show you 4 moments where Jesus was deeply misunderstood. Moment 1, by his own family. Mark 3:21 says, "When his family heard about this, they went to take charge of him, for they said, 'He is out of his mind.'" His own family thought he was crazy. They wanted to stop him. They believed he had lost his senses. Moment 2, by his own hometown. Luke 4:28-29 says, "All the people in the synagogue were furious when they heard this. They got up, drove him out of the town, and took him to the brow of the hill to throw him off the cliff." The very people who watched him grow up tried to kill him because he grew beyond what they could understand. Moment 3, by his closest disciples. In Matthew 16:22-23, Peter rebuked Jesus, saying he was wrong. And Jesus replied, "Get behind me, Satan." Even those closest to him couldn't fully see what he was doing. Moment 4, on the cross. Matthew 27:46, my God, why have you forsaken me?" At the peak of his mission, his greatest moment of transformation, Jesus felt misunderstood, even by God. When you realize that being misunderstood is normal in your spiritual growth, you stop doing 3 things: blaming yourself, over-explaining yourself,
going backwards just to be accepted, doubting your own path. You start to rest in the truth. I am misunderstood because I grew, and that's okay. When I began growing spiritually, friends I'd known for years began to distance themselves. They said I'd become too religious, too intense, different. I tried to explain, to prove I was still the same, until I read that even Jesus was misunderstood by his own family, and something clicked. If he was misunderstood, why wouldn't I be? When I finally accepted I am misunderstood and that's okay, peace came. I stopped convincing, I stopped justifying, and paradoxically, that peace attracted new people, those who truly understood my spirit. So when someone criticizes you, judges you, or calls you different, breathe deeply and say to yourself, I am misunderstood because I grew, and I understood Jesus' message. Jesus was misunderstood too. I am in good company. Don't over-explain. Don't prove anything. Just keep growing.
The second word Jesus left us is necessary. Jesus used this word several times to describe things that were painful, yet essential. And the loneliness that comes with spiritual growth is one of them. Moment 1. About his own death. Matthew 16:21. From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and to be killed. Something painful was necessary for a greater purpose. Moment 2. About being born again. John 3:7. Do not marvel that I said to you, you must be born again. The death of the old self is necessary for new birth. Moment 3. About being lifted up. John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Let me explain something profound. When you grow spiritually, you are shedding an old shell, like a lobster that outgrows its shell and must leave it behind to expand. During that process, there's a moment when you no longer fit in the old shell, old friendships, old patterns. But the new shell hasn't formed yet, new connections, new identity. That in-between moment is loneliness, and it's absolutely necessary because 1. You need silence to hear God clearly. Crowds distract. Solitude clarifies. 2. You need to grow stronger on your own. Muscles grow under resistance. The spirit grows in the desert. 3. You need to discover who you are without people. Many only exist through others' approval. Growth requires identity. 4. You need space for the new tribe to arrive. A house full of old furniture has no space for the new. Mystics call this season the dark night of the soul, not because God abandoned you, but because He is transforming you in the dark, just like seeds that germinate underground. John 12:24. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Loneliness is that falling into the ground, the dying of the old, the necessary process for fruit to grow. There was a year in my life when I lost every single old friendship, literally all of them.
I felt rejected, punished, abandoned, until God whispered to me, "I didn't take them away from you. I took you away from them. Because where I'm sending you, they can't go yet. And if you stayed, you wouldn't grow." Loneliness wasn't punishment. It was necessary for my next level. So when loneliness hurts, when it feels unbearable, declare this: this loneliness is necessary. It's not permanent. It's preparatory. God is preparing me for something greater that requires this season. Shift your question from "Why am I alone?" to "What is this loneliness preparing me for?"
The third word Jesus gave us is rewarded. Jesus promised that those who lose something for the sake of spiritual growth will be abundantly rewarded. Moment 1. The promise of Jesus. Mark 10:29-30. Truly, I tell you, no one who has left home or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or fields for me and the gospel will fail to receive 100 times as much in this present age. Homes, brothers, sisters, mothers, children, and fields. Did you hear that? 100 times more. Not equal, 100-fold. Moment 2. Heavenly and earthly reward. Matthew 5:11-12. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. Moment 3. A new spiritual family. When Jesus' biological family rejected him, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. Whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother." Jesus gained a bigger family when he lost his old one's understanding. Now, let's understand the rewards that come with it. You will find people who speak your spiritual language. It may take time, but they will come. You no longer wear masks. You stop pretending. The freedom to be yourself has no price. Human loneliness pushes you into divine intimacy, and that is the greatest reward. In the silence of solitude, God reveals your unique purpose, the one the crowd used to drown out. Those who grow alone later impact multitudes. Your solitude is preparation for service. I spent 2 years in deep loneliness after my spiritual awakening. I lost friends, grew distant from family. I was literally alone. But during those 2 years, I met God in ways I never had before. I discovered my true purpose. I wrote, created, prepared. And after those 2 years, a new community appeared. People who truly understood my soul. Opportunities I'd never imagined. An impact beyond what I could dream. The reward didn't come in the desert. It came after the desert, because I walked through it. When loneliness feels endless, declare, "I will be rewarded 100 times more." God never leaves anyone in the desert forever. My reward is being prepared as I am being prepared. Live your solitude as an investment, not as a punishment. If this message is bringing clarity and hope to your heart in this season of spiritual loneliness,
subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Here, you'll always find words that feed your soul through every stage of your journey. Leave your like and comment. Which of these 3 words touched you the most? Let's keep going. Now let me give you something simple. No overcomplication, just 3 practical things to do. Stop explaining yourself. When someone doesn't understand you, don't waste your energy trying to explain endlessly. Jesus didn't justify himself to the Pharisees. Just say, "I understand that you don't understand," and that's okay. Then stop there. Your actions over time will speak louder than 1,000 explanations today. Every morning declare, "I am misunderstood, but not wrong." This loneliness is necessary, not permanent. I will be rewarded. It's God's promise. 30 seconds, that's it, but do it every day. Write down what you're learning during this season of solitude, on paper, on your phone, anywhere. Because one day you'll look back and realize every lonely day had a purpose. And when your new tribe arrives, you'll have wisdom to share with those walking the same path. That's all. 3 simple things, but powerful ones. You don't need 10 steps. You don't need a complex ritual. You just need conviction and daily application of these 3 words. Let me tell you what to expect from this phase, because when you know the map, you won't give up halfway. The disconnection. First 3 months. You start realizing you don't fit in anymore. Conversations feel shallow. You feel like an alien. What to do? Accept it. Don't fight it. Let it go naturally. The deep loneliness. Months 3 to 12. You are officially alone now. The parties stop, the messages fade, the silence is deafening. What to do? Dive into God. This is your desert, your preparation. Learn everything you can in this place. The temptation to go back. Around months 6 to 9. You'll start questioning everything. Is it worth it? Should I go back? Am I being too proud? What to do? Persist. This is the moment when most people give up. Don't quit when the reward is so close. Hebrews 10:35-36. Do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. The birth of the new. After 12 to 18 months. Suddenly, new people start showing up. Opportunities appear. You realize you were never truly alone, just being refined. What to do? Receive with gratitude, but with wisdom. Not everyone who comes in this new season is meant to stay. The reward, 18+ months. You look back and say, it was worth every single day of solitude. You're no longer who you were. Your new life, your new tribe, your new purpose, they're worth infinitely more than what you lost.
Now I need to tell you something with absolute seriousness and urgency. You are standing at a crossroads right now, and the decision you make in the next few weeks could determine the rest of your life. Most people who begin to grow spiritually and face loneliness end up doing one of 2 things. They return to old friends, old habits, the old life, because the loneliness hurts too much.
And then they spend the rest of their lives wondering, what if? They endure the pain, trust the process, and persist. And on the other side, they discover a life they never imagined possible. And here's the part you really need to hear. You have a limited window of time to make that choice, because no one can live in the void forever. You either trust that there's a purpose and go through, or you give up and go back. And what few people tell you is this: if you go back now, it will be so much harder to grow again later, because you'll carry the memory of, I tried once and I couldn't handle it. Let me ask you questions that will define your future. 10 years from now, do you want to look back and say, I had the courage to grow even when I was alone, or I gave up because it was too hard? Do you really believe God brought you this far just to abandon you halfway? Or is He preparing you for something that requires this temporary solitude? What story will you tell your children, your grandchildren? I chose comfort, or I chose growth, no matter the price. Here's what will happen if you persist. In 12 to 24 months, you'll be living a life you can't even imagine right now, surrounded by people who deeply understand you, with crystal clarity of purpose, real impact, and genuine peace. But only if you don't quit now. And here's what happens if you give up. You'll try to go back and fit into the old spaces again, but you'll realize you don't fit anymore because you've already changed. Yet now you're stuck in a place that no longer belongs to you, without the courage to leave again. Is that what you want? A lifetime prison in a place that no longer belongs to you? Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." You must have vision for what's beyond this loneliness. You must see the reward. You must believe it's worth it. Luke 9:62, "No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." You've already put your hand on the plow of growth. If you look back now, you disqualify yourself from what God has prepared for you. Tonight, right now, before you go to sleep, find a quiet place, look up to the sky, or close your eyes, and make an irrevocable decision. Father, I choose to cross through. No matter how long this loneliness lasts, I will not turn back. I trust that you are preparing me, not abandoning me. I am misunderstood, but not wrong. This loneliness is necessary, not a punishment. I will be rewarded because it's your promise. I cross through. I persist. I trust. In Jesus' name, it is decided. And after that prayer, every time you feel the temptation to go back, remind yourself, I already decided. There's no turning back. Isaiah 43:18 through 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? God is doing something new in you, but you must stop looking back. Your new tribe is waiting for you. Your purpose is waiting for you. Your reward is waiting for you, but only if you cross through. Revelation 2:10. Be faithful until death, and I will give you the crown of life. Be faithful until the end of this solitude, And the crown, the abundant life, the new tribe, the fulfilled purpose will be yours. Don't give up now, not when you are this close.
The darkest night always comes right before the dawn. And your dawn is so much closer than you think. 2 years from now, you'll come back to this video and tears will fill your eyes. Tears of gratitude because you persisted, because you didn't give up, because you trusted that there was purpose in the loneliness. And then you will become for others what Jesus was for you today. Someone who shows those still wandering in the desert that there is a way out, that it's worth it, that the reward is real. Your season of loneliness is not the end of your story. It's just the chapter of transformation. And the best chapters are yet to come. With unshakable faith in your glorious future, your friend, the one who has already crossed this desert and can tell you with certainty, on the other side, it's infinitely better. Cross through. Don't give up. Your reward is coming.